911, where's the emergency?
You're risking this woman's life. We're heading south on I-95. You've got 3 officers ganging up on me right now, and I have enough ammunition to kill her and myself. Don't play with me. Get her off my now!
Sir, why don't you just pull over so we can end this peacefully?
That's not going to happen. So, back the up!
Sir, why don't you just pull over and let's end this peacefully?
I heard you the first time. It's not going to happen. Maybe you didn't hear me. Back them up, or I start opening fire.
Back with my co-host Jenny Hutt and our Behavior Bureau, Jennifer Kitt, Wendy Walsh, Jillian Barbary, and Wendy O'Connor. Brett Lee Curtis is the guy whom you just heard on that tape. He kidnapped his ex-girlfriend. When the police gave chase, that's when he became threatening and agitated. She eventually escaped. He killed himself. Wendy Walsh, after the breakup, he reportedly threatened her life and her family's life. This is clearly a resentful stalker. Tell people a little bit about that.
Okay, so this is what I would call an absolutely extreme attachment injury. On some deep unconscious level, Dr. Drew, he believes that attachment to her is his lifeline. He will die without her. And those feelings are visceral and they're real to him. So as a result, he's going to do everything he can to try to get her close or his family. But if he can't have that, then he's going to, because he's a guy, he will use anger, and it will erupt in anger. With a woman, it would be more like depression. Men use substance abuse and violence when they have big attachment injuries. Women is depression and anxiety. So I think he was thinking, I'm going to spend my last moments with her. If I can't have her, we're both going to die.
Now, let's sort of qualify about stalking in a second. Now I've got 4 or 5 of you up there. When you were an adolescent, did you ever call somebody and hang up? Did you ever drive by their house? Show of hands, people who ever did that when they were 15, 17.
I stalked you.
Not an adolescent.
Every one of you have been a stalker. I just want to make that point.
Yeah, that was like a Saturday night activity.
There's an age in which that's sort of normal, developmentally appropriate. Everyone has done that kind of thing, so they've, again, called and hung up. Or now there's even the internet stalking, so, you can check their Facebook page and whatnot. It's very, very, very common, but it's normative. Wendy O'Connor, when does it cross over and really become an issue?
Well, obviously, first of all, it's interesting that she is the ex-fiance, so something must have given her a heads up to get out of that relationship. But when you see someone fixated on you, swept away, they are cyber-stalking you, they're isolating you, there's a lot of control that goes into it. I never thought about getting a gun, but I got to tell you, after hearing your panel, I feel like packing a little bit. It's a little scary. But, I also think, don't get in the car. I'd rather be shot on the street than get on the car. Statistically, once you get in a car, you're never coming back.
Right. Jillian, coercive control relationships, they're nasty and they can go bad, right?
Well, I keep thinking that this is the best possible outcome for her. It's what Wendy was saying. Usually this does not end up with a positive outcome. I mean, I'm sure she's going to need help and therapy after this because of what she went through, thinking she was going to die. That's absolutely horrific. But, the other outcome could have been a lot worse. So it's fascinating to me. And maybe Wendy Walsh can answer this. Wendy, and I know, Dr. Drew, you disagree with this. Do you think that his intention was to have her watch him kill himself? Was there some...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I think that, remember, he's projected on her, you're the evil abandoning mommy that hurt me when I was an infant. So you are going to see how much you've hurt me. You are going to watch my pain. You need to see my pain. And I do want to say one thing that Wendy, to expand on something that Wendy O'Connor said, that, at the beginning of these relationships, these guys can seem so loving and so caregiving because it's not stalking, it's not obsessive yet. They're just filled with love. And women can confuse that kind of, jealousy maybe, or who you're going to be with care and love.
The intensity. They confuse intensity. But they're talking about that woman. CNN affiliate WTSB asked her, the kidnapped survivor, if she had advice for women trapped in controlling relationships. So let's hear from her directly.
Don't give in to fear, because they're going to try and scare you. They're going to try and get you to back down. Don't back down. I guess I let fear get in the way a little bit, but I'm lucky to be alive. I'm healing, and I'm looking at it as, this was just another step in the road. and it was a bad one.
No kidding. Jennifer, although I don't totally agree with Wendy's frame, I don't disagree with the way she describes it, but I think this guy was in such an agitated state, there's no telling. And he had a gun. There's no telling what he could have done.
You're absolutely correct. And, this scares me to the core because I've got 3 daughters, 25, 23, 19-year-old, and I'm really concerned because I look at his picture, Dr. Drew. He looks like the grocery store boy. He looks like the people who pack my luggage. How in the world are we supposed to know as women that these guys are going to turn into these kinds of stalkers? I'm interested to find out when in the relationship did she really kind of know.
Be careful with love addiction. Don't confuse intensity for love. Jenny, take me home.
Yeah, but that's the issue, Dr. Drew. I think so often with women, young women, middle-aged women, I think we do confuse intensity for love. And I think that emotion all of a sudden will let someone in, potentially, who's not right because he makes us feel so good. And then what are you supposed to do? Like, we expect people to act like human beings, not like monsters.